Hello and welcome to Saturday. It's been a pretty relaxing day actually. Got some cooking done and basically kind of took the day off, if that means anything. Um, One of the things that I really want to talk about is something that's been bothering me for I guess the beginning of this year. As you may or may not know, back in December, the big issue that we've had with our boiler is that it just broke and it stopped working. So we ended up getting it replaced end of December, early January, sometime around there. We've had some minor issues with it and nothing too big of a deal, but the biggest thing would be that in order to control it, we needed a new thermostat. And that's an odd thing to say, right? Because years and years ago, we invested in this little guy. This is a Nest Learning Thermostat Generation 2, I believe, is the actual model number, and it served us very, very well. You know, we just hooked it up. It's capable. We can program it. Like, we programmed it so much back in the day. Not so much now, but that's not that big of a deal. Back when me and my brother were actively going to and from college, people weren't home at certain times. People were coming and leaving. So it was just like, okay, we'll set this thermostat to work around these schedules. Everybody's out of the house from these hours to these hours. Somebody comes home from this time and they're only here for an hour or two, and then they are back out. So it's just trying to coordinate things like that and being able to, like, oh, you know what, instead of hanging out at school for the entirety of this Wednesday or Thursday that I'm there, I could just set the thermostat to, a higher temperature. That way when I get home, it's nice and warm. We eventually got one for air conditioning, so there's one right out in the hall. But this one, as you'll notice, is kind of disconnected. And that's because the boiler heater thing that we got was not compatible. It started making this weird kind of clicking noise because for some reason it just doesn't want to work properly. I believe the way it was described is that was the way this thing pulls electricity is not like pulling power from the heater, is just like not how it should be done. And this is like one of the most expensive boilers on the market, and somehow this is not something that they tested or like thought of, or like, why isn't this working? So we've lived without this heater, without this thermostat hooked up to our heater for the past 4-5 months now. And that's not too big of a deal. I mean, we have the old kind of like digital thermostat, not anything smart, home enabled, but it's fine. It's whatever. It's not that big of a deal, but it's also like, hey, we've had this like for years and years and years. It's really helped us out for like doing thermostat things, and now it just doesn't work. So what can we do about that? Well, if we take a glance here, this is where you put the wires in, right? Normally you put your control and power wires in here, and each thing would control a different aspect of the thermostat, right? Typically here we've used power and just heat, so it's like 3-4 wires tops. Same with the air conditioning, and I know a lot of other houses have like fully integrated systems. If we ever get around to doing that, we would only need one, but c'est la vie. So that means we have two independent systems, one that controls AC, one that controls heat, and the one that's controlling heat needs power somehow. Luckily, this is a solved issue. All you need is just to buy basically like just like any plug, right, with 2 wires stripped basically, that you just plug into the power side, which is like C and RC or RH or something like that. I'll look it up later. It's not that important now because I don't have it, but all you need to do is order that or just buy it. It's like anywhere from $10 to $20, and just plug it in and then plug it directly into the wall. And that's basically it. It gets power from the wall. You don't need to control it any other way. It just sends the control signals. It doesn't need power from the heater. This is great because, some thermostats are battery powered and that's all you really need, as opposed to hooking it up some other way, right? So, what's the issue then, right? Well, we don't have an outlet on that wall. There is, however, an outlet on the other side of the wall. Where we put the thermostat is, let's say my hand is the wall. On this side is thermostat. On this side is a closet right here. And there is a light switch in that closet. So, that means we need to... I don't think there is an outlet in that closet. So it means we need to drill a hole into the wall, right? But there's no outlet. What are we going to do? Well, luckily, they make combo units where you have a light switch and then you also have power delivered to that outlet. A combo light switch outlet thing, which would be perfect for our situation. You just plug in the thermostat into the wall, and then you have a light switch that's independent, and you're good, right? I think that's it. Theoretically, that should very well work, but that's going to be a bridge that we'll cross when we get to that. And we ordered everything that we need for this little project, and it should be here maybe tomorrow, if not sometime this week. So it'll be interesting to see how all of this goes down, because I have no idea how well this is going to work, or how this is going to just be difficult to drill into the wall and run cables and everything. It shouldn't be too hard, but again, who knows, right? This could be a whole day project. It could take maybe 20 minutes. Just take the light switch off the wall, hook it up to the cable. I don't even know how to properly run an outlet through there. It's gonna be a whole endeavor, but hopefully it won't be too horrible. Thermostats are weird. That's really all I can say. But we just need to power this little guy. It essentially boils down to we need a power supply for a thermostat, and that's the only issue that we're running into. It's been sitting on the on a shelf for these past 4 or 5 months, and it's been bothering me, and hopefully we'll get this sorted as soon as it's starting to warm up and we won't even need to have the heater on. So that's gonna be fun. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna call it for today. We'll get this thing sorted out, and hopefully we'll have it working sometime this week, if not next. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow. And until then, later.